Hi guys, welcome. This is Chris Petri. Thanks for stopping by. I also want to say a great thank you and a shout out to all my new subscribers. I appreciate that you guys are coming by and subscribing, and I hope my videos are really exciting and enjoyable for you guys to watch. And I love painting, and I just really hope that you guys, if you do paint yourselves and you're painting along with me, that you can pick up some things, and you can always send me a quick question or two if you think you'd like to learn something about a technique I'm using and it's not quite clear, or I don't describe it the way you need me to when I'm doing my video here. You can always send me a quick comment in the comment section below in the video. So here I wanted to just kind of catch you up to speed on what I did here so far, and then I'm going to continue to work on this painting. It's actually in the process here. So what I have here is, this is a Winslow Homer painting, and I have a book in front of me, and what I did was I used the reference photo, which is in the book. It's a Winslow Homer book. It's a book of all of his paintings and the history of his artwork, and all the different details about his career as a painter. And so this is one of my favorite paintings that he did. It's a picture of a waterway, obviously, and it looks like some buildings, maybe some hotels and motels along the water, some beautiful boat over here, and the buildings, some nice mansard roofs with some details and windows and beautiful trees and bushes and things along in the water. So essentially what I did was I started off with a pencil sketch, a light pencil sketch. You can probably see clouds and the buildings I sketched in lightly in the foreground here. And then I did some sketching of the shadows and reflections in the water. And Winslow Homer was really very much real. He did a lot of realism. Like, his paintings are very accurate. Like, it's almost, he really took his time and did a beautiful job with accuracy, as well as just great workmanship on his paintings. So I'm trying to capture the same idea, and here what I did was, again, I pencil sketched lightly first, then I did a light wash over the whole painting with the blues, some purple mixed into the blue, and I used three blues mainly: cerulean, cobalt blue, and French ultramarine. Incidentally, my palette is the Charles Reid palette. I use all of his same colors when I paint, and so if you ever need to reference my paints and what I'm using, you can just go online and you'll find Charles Reid's palettes on probably like the art supply stores. I think there's many art supply stores, I think, that carry his line of paints that he uses, his particular palette. And in any case here, I'm using those three blues and then a little bit of ultramarine violet, purplish color mixed in with the blues all the way through the whole painting. I try to always use the same colors throughout the whole painting versus like putting a block of blue over here and then a block of purple over here. I try to put the whole painting with the same colors throughout, and it kind of gives a nice harmony to the painting. So I'm trying to get into a little bit of detail here as I go. So I did my first wash and I let it completely dry. Then I came in with my second wash and I started my second wash here, or my second glazing as we call it. And the second glazing is my darker tonal values. So when you're doing a painting, it's really helpful if you do your lighter colors first, and you don't have to worry so much about being that accurate. And then when you come in with your darker tonal values and your darker colors, then you become a little more accurate, and then you kind of, those will be your more focal points of your painting, where people's eyes will go to those darker tonal values and colors, and that's where you can do a little more detail with those, and it just makes the painting a lot more exciting. And everything doesn't have to be detailed. You can kind of save your details with the second glazing, which is your darker colors. So here I'm already started my second glazing of paint, and I'm just going to keep going here. I'm using a needlepoint brush. This is from Alvaro Castagnet's brushes. His website has his brushes he uses, and this is a needlepoint brush, and this works great for details. So I'm going to use this brush here and go in and get some blue and some burnt umber mixed together a little bit, and just do a little more details under the roof here. And I'll try to mix it up a little bit with variations in color. I think this looks really good with a nice dark shadow area under the eaves of the roof. And then I'm just going to put in some darker tone values for indications for the windows. And I think the windows look good if you kind of make them different shapes and not all the same shape and design. Okay, and then this one window over here looks to be in the sunlight, on the sunlit side of the building. So I'm going to do one of these here. And maybe another one there. And then I'm going to make a little accent over here where that wall is, where this side wall is here. Just so it's a little darker, so it kind of looks like the sunlit side and then the shadow side of the building. And then I'm going to do a tiny bit of more shading to the roof. I think I'll change my brush just for a second here. And I'll make this just a little darker, this side of the roof there. Okay, maybe a little darker over there too. So I'm just kind of just doing little details to the roofs of the buildings. And then I'm going to go back with my needlepoint brush here and then put in some details over here. Again, you can reference the photo of Winslow Homer's painting. That's a building off in the distance I'm doing now. That's behind these two larger buildings up closer. And I'm going to pick up some more greens. Just maybe some, a little bit of just a little bit of brushwork here, just to give some indications of leaves and twigs and things. And I'm changing the painting a little bit from what Winslow Homer's original looks like here. I want to try to just keep it close to the same, but it doesn't have to be exact. And I'm going to do some water, and then as we get closer, in the foreground here, then we can go a little darker with our values, our tonal values with the water. And there's a little bit of darker tone over here. Now I'm going to work with a little more of the greens, with blue and green mixed together, a little bit of burnt umber, just to block in some darker tonal value over here. I leave some spaces where the light, like where the trees, you can see through the trees to the other side where the sky is over there. And just try to move my brush the way I think that the way the branches and leaves and things are. Guys, the eye usually goes to the darkest and lightest combination on your paintings first, and then it moves around. So if you're going to sell your paintings or put them in a gallery or put them out for competitions and things, that's always a good thing to know. That really can help, like with people looking at your paintings and kind of getting interested in them and really focusing on them, is the eye always goes to the darker and lighter areas where the most of the contrast is first. So the eye tends to, the person viewing the painting is going to look at that. So if you want to keep the eye across the center of your painting, you would put all your darker tonal values across the painting. Let's say here, if you wanted to do that. And that would be your focal point, maybe across the painting this way here. And then you can put some foreground ideas, some darker tonal values in your foreground with some greens, and that'll also, sort of help to give a three-dimensional quality to the painting. If you have some foreground here, it sort of invites you into the painting, the foreground ideas. And then as the eye goes and looks at the different shapes of the trees and branches and twigs down here, it leads you over to here and then through here. So this will keep your eye nicely focused on the paper. So if someone's viewing your artwork, they'll find it interesting because you have your darker tonal values sort of like leading your eye through the painting and around, and so that really looks good, works good. That's why I think Winslow Homer did that, to make his paintings more exciting. And I'll just do a few more little indications of some movements of things. And I noticed there's a few rocks that he has in the water, so I'm just going to do a couple of the rocks here. And then he has some beautiful orange, bright orange by the rocks. And he's got a couple touches of orange here and there. That's a complementary color to blue and greens. So that really stands out nicely. Okay guys, I hope you really enjoyed this painting. This is just a real quick, like I would call this a sketch. Like this is not really a finished painting. This is just kind of like a practice run. So if I was going to do a real finished painting, I would probably do this first, kind of get my ideas, go through it one time or two times like this, quicker with the ideas, and then when I do my third painting, it'll really come out a lot better because I've already kind of practice run a few times with it. Okay, guys, thanks again for watching. Thanks to all you new subscribers. I appreciate you guys coming by and watching my videos. Hope that they're exciting, hope they're educational, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.